Madam C, and welcome to a surprise new car, a turbocharged legend. You're not going to believe this. Now this purchase comes as both a surprise, but also kind of makes sense. It's been 9 years coming. Now, my first car is just over here. It is my 1972 MGB GT, and I had this car whilst I was at university. And as I came out of university, I fancied treating myself, and I looked at a particular car that I was going to buy. I actually looked at 2 of them. In the end, it didn't happen, and I bought my TVR 350i Wedge instead. Had great fun with that. Now, after that car, I got the Cobra, so I part exchanged the TVR for the Cobra, which has always been my dream car and still very much is. And that is when my channel really started changing quite considerably, and I thought, I need a Japanese car because most of the videos I filmed were in the Japanese and modified market. So I bought a Mazda RX-8 for my late friend Stuart. May he rest in peace. And I had a summer of fun with that car. I drank a lot of oil, and when the clutch started slipping, I thought, nope, I've spent too much money already on this car, on like industry leading tubs of oil. So I put a for sale sign on the car, £400, and it went at a car show at Goodwood. And its replacement was this, my Nissan 350Z Roadster. So obviously I prefer British car in kind of format, and this, I've always said, is the most British format Japanese car possible. It's basically a Jaguar F-Type, but for a fraction of the price. But that was my introduction into the longevity of JDM ownership, although this is a UK car. And I've had this car for so long. I've done over 50,000 miles. This is my daily. But it wasn't quite JDM enough. So quite a lengthy period later, I finally bought the white Chaser because everyone loves a white Chaser. It was a motto that kind of stemmed from the channel. I had to get one. And then I ended up with the 2 Japanese cars, including my first introduction to turbocharged vehicles. And then it all got a little bit silly because I ended up buying an imported left-hand drive beast of the car, my Mark 1 Renault Twingo, and that car still hasn't been started. I need to wait for Sam from the Hard Up Garage to finish his projects, and then he can help me out with the Twingo. And then I bought a left-hand drive imported beast, the Dodge Viper, the secondary dream, to go along with the Cobra, my dream 2-car garage. Now, talking of Hard Up Garage, he introduced me to my next JDM vehicle, the sexy Yaris. Although, yeah, no, it's not JDM again. It's more like the Nissan. It was a UK car. It was built in about 2004 by Suki. And that leads me up to, well, not today, about 2 weeks ago. Now, obviously, I am very much well known for my love of car shows and car meets. And 2 weeks ago, I decided to get the Cobra out and go down to Brooklands for their Cool Flow Retro car meet. It was a very last minute thing. And as you can tell, here are some pictures. I didn't film anything. There was no plans to do anything there. And I just wanted to go there for a jolly, get some pictures for Instagram and just have a good time. And that was when we saw the car that's actually in front of me right now. Now, this car is the one that got away, that 9 years ago I almost bought. Not the exact car and not the exact model, because back then I was looking at a naturally aspirated version of this car, and now today I have the turbo version. Oh yes, it is a turbocharged legend from the 1980s. So my TVR from 1987, that's gone. I've now got a car from 1988. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my brand new turbocharged legend, the Porsche 944 Turbo. This is not meant to be a repair video, but the pop-ups have stopped popping up. I thought I'd show you, boop boop. Stage fright, such old 80s electrics. These are all the fuses. The fuse is all good, it's just a bit crusty. So I'm going to try and uncrustify that and see if that's the case. Hey! I did a fix. So before you go anywhere, let me just tell you this. This is not a standard Porsche 944 Turbo. They would have about 220 horsepower. This has a little bit more. I'll go into that later. But let me just revert back to Brooklyn. So yes, I was there. It had a for sale sign in the windscreen. Well, we called the owner, summoned him over, and the next day went to look at this car. And I said to myself, if I love the way this car drives, I'm gonna get it. And a week later, I did. Before I did that though, I did do a car vertical check. We were at the Shepherd and Flock discussing whether we should get this car or not, and I put the number plate into Car Vertical. They've also sponsored this video just to check for any hidden details about this car's history, anything that might come up, any kind of mileage discrepancies, whether it's been stolen, written off, or any kind of damage reports. And remember, my code of Adam C gets you 20% off your Car Vertical reports, whether you're buying a car or maybe you want to check a car you've already bought. And I'm pleased to report that this car has a clean bill of health. Of course it does. It's quite high mileage. That's the only thing it cropped up, and quite a few owners, about 11. So it's on 155,000 miles, this car, but I might not have been so lucky. Let me show you this example on Car Vertical of another 944. So this is what's greeted you when you do a report. The mileage, oh, it may have fake mileage. You can see it's been rolled back there. Let's see what else it's got. Damage. Oh, it's been marked as a write-off. Repairable but non-structural damage. And you can even see photos of the car and the damage. Well, that car is not the best of states, but the car hasn't been stolen. There are no financial and legal issues with it either. Remember, this isn't my car. My car was all good. But let's go back 9 years ago when I was going to buy a 944. I actually looked at two of them. First off, a red example. It was either a 2.5 or a 2.7. I can't remember. And then I went to look at this beautiful metallic blue S2. That's the 3 litre. So they actually came after the turbo was introduced and got almost as much power out of the 3 litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder Porsche engine than they did in the turbocharged one. So I was like, yes, this is what I want at a very young age. So I test drove it, called them up afterwards to put a deposit on, and they'd already taken a deposit on the car. And I was so annoyed, it threw me off the idea of 944s altogether, and I bought my TVR instead. Now, that did save me a little bit of money because my TVR's insurance was about £700, but a Porsche 944 was looking to be well over £1,000 to insure. I've actually never paid over £1,000 per car throughout my entire life. I've been very lucky with the MGB as the first car. Obviously, they don't have statistics of young people in cars like that, but I guess the Porsche badge made it quite expensive. So I was very lucky there because the TVR was a lot cheaper. But now that I'm a bit older, Greenlight Insurance have covered this car, and it is in the 200s. Greenlight Insurance actually cover all of my fleet, and if you mention me when getting your next renewal, you can actually get 15% off yourself as well. So insurance was done, but the only thing I had to do, because this is an old car, it's got locks with a key, but there's nothing else for theft. So they said I had to get an immobilizer fitted, a Thatcham Cat 2 immobilizer. So I went down to the guys at Impulse in Watford, and the first thing I did with this car was to get the Thatcham Cat 2 immobilizer fitted. Not only do Impulse specialise in fitting security systems, but entertainment systems as well. So we're starting a shopping list already. This doesn't even work. It's not even wired in, and these speakers, well, they're from the 80s, so that'll be next. That's definite. And I washed it, and it's just raining. Like, I washed this car just now, and you really find out all the details about your car when you give it its first wash. So I thought, yes, I'll wash it for the video, get it all looking nice. And this. So a quick history lesson about the 944 Turbo before we start off properly going into my one in particular. So the 924 was the replacement of the 914 as the bottom range car, and kind of the 912 as well. So it was meant to be a joint collaboration between Porsche and Volkswagen. They were using the 2-litre Volkswagen and Audi engine in the original 924s, and they were a bit sluggish and a bit slow. Later on, Porsche developed their own 2.5-litre version of the engine to put into the 924s. And then in the 1981 24 Hours of Le Mans, they introduced the 924 GTP Le Mans. Now that car actually finished 7th in its class. It did quite well, and it was that car that later became the 944. So in a way, I've got another homologation Le Mans car, along with the Viper and kind of the Cobra. I mean, I'm using this term lightly, it's not a McLaren F1, but it has that heritage about it. So they had the 944 with a 2.5 litre Porsche straight 4, not Volkswagen anymore. So it was 1986 that they introduced the turbo model of the 944. A bit more luxurious, more features, it's got a more aerodynamic body on it. This body is actually the same as the S2 that came later. And this is a 1988, which is my lucky number due to my Cobra, because I had a model kit that I had as a kid that I built with my dad that had the number 88 on it, and I think I was 8 years old at the time, and that's why I've got 88 on my Cobra. And this is a 1988 car, and the Cobra has the diff and rear end of a 1988 Jaguar XJS as well, so 88 is everywhere here. So these have pretty much a 50-50 weight distribution, so the gearbox is right at the back of this model. Also the 944 Turbo, they've got 911 brakes front and rear, and as I said earlier, about 220 horsepower. But why one doesn't, of course, I told you that. Let me talk to you about my car in particular. So in 1988, they released the Porsche 944 Turbo S. Not a lot of people know about the S model. It was only in 1988, and the way to distinguish an S from a standard 944 is it doesn't have a sunroof. Mine's not an S, so mine is the standard 944 Turbo. So the S had about 240 to 250 horsepower, I think 247, and in the later years, the 944 Turbos had the S engine, including all of the cabriolet turbos. My example is finished in probably one of the most legendary colors in the world on this windy day. This is God's red. You hate the wheels, don't you? Well, so do I. The reason the wheels are golden is to match the turbo sticker that is on the car. So this sticker was actually an option from these cars when new, but normally you find them black that kind of fades to clear, whereas the previous owner put the golden badge there to match the golden badge there, and then the wheels were to match the golden badge there. So I would like a set of BBS RSs for this car. I've always loved the BBS RS, and maybe have gold centers, because I think it's a little bit less in your face as fully gold wheels. Otherwise, it's pretty standard other than the interior. So let me show you. So we've got this luxurious door handle, and inside is cream and red, which is a shame because this car used to be all cream. I found the pictures on the vast history report that came with the car, and in 2014 they changed the carpet colour to red, and then more recently the inserts have been changed to red as well. This car was restored in 2014. That included a full respray, and since then has been tuned to provide potentially about 300 brake horsepower. Now I need to get it on a rolling road because it hasn't been on one yet, but this is a quick car. So I've actually got a list of mods that this car has got. They're all declared to Green Light Insurance. The 17-inch Porsche Cup wheels that I'm going to change. I've got a Momo steering wheel, wastegate enhancer, vacuum hose kit, fuel pressure regulator, high flow injectors, Bailey atmospheric dump valve. You'll hear that in a bit. Promax ECU, map and KLR turbo controller chip, stainless exhaust, and it is honestly a quick car. It's got a bit of 80s turbo lag, but that is what I love about it. Okay, let me show you. So, flat out, here we go. And now the turbo. Okay, I'll do it in second because obviously that was just wheel spin, but you get the idea. So cruising, flat out, wait. Now it goes! Now the only trouble with this car is it's open diff. All of my other cars, they've got LSDs, all the sporty ones, whether it's a viscous or a standard one. And this, you can tell it's open. I've driven it in the wet. It's a shame, they're about 450 quid. Now you notice I've got bar of boost there, and PSI down here. The only thing with this car that I need to do though, I need to look at soon, the ball joints. They got excessive wear in them, I think. And you can hear it knocking when you turn the wheel. That's not good, that needs sorting. It sounds difficult as well. These have aluminium parts on their turbos. So if anyone knows or can help me out with the ball joint, I think it's that one for the 944 Turbo, I'd be greatly appreciated. There's other things that scare me in this car. That's the 80s technology. Like, it has got a sunroof, and that works at the moment. And something else that also works at the moment, oh no, the pop-ups have stopped working again. The lights turn on, but the pop-ups don't pop up. Oh, they do! Maybe it's just their time of the month. Look, let's go down and then up. Okay, they work. Good. I do miss that about my TVR. The handling on this car is actually really nice and tight. Oh my Jesus! I did test drive another Porsche 944 Turbo because Jimmy, the old owner, has 3 of them. So he let me drive another one of his to see how a good one is. And this one, other than the ball joint, is a good one. And it's a bit slippery. Oh, it's such a fun car to drive. Maybe these back roads are a bit too back roady for this car. Oh, this is my first ever German car. I've never owned a German car before now. Who'd have thought? Right, let's get back. So, what's next for this car? Well, it definitely needs a detail. The red is nice, it looks good, but close up it's not amazing. And then obviously, yes, the ball joint on the front needs sorting. You can hear the knock when you turn the wheel at slow speed, but otherwise it's a presentable car. You need to get those BBSs on it. I think that'll make it look really good. It's got adjustable suspension on the front, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think I want to drop it that much more because the rear, I think, hasn't got adjustable. But I've always loved the look, especially of that rear end. Inoffensive styling on the 944, and to have the turbo badge is just the next level. I love the little Porsche badge there on the spoiler. I now own a spoiler. Obviously my only other spoiler I took off, the Chaser. So let me know in the comments what you think about this car, what you think about the gold on it, and what you think I should do with this car and my other cars, because I don't need 8 of them. There's going to be a video about the Yaris soon. That's a clue. If you want it, let me know. We'll sort something out. But I hope you enjoyed that video from my new Porsche 944 Turbo. Another legend to add to my collection. In fact, I think the Porsche and the MG, and then the Cobra and the Vibe, and then the Chaser. Look at this. This is my dream. I'm so grateful for what I've achieved in the last few years. The 2 legends there, the blue and white stripes. I'm not going to call the 350Z a legend, but it's a bit of a legend of the channel because I've had it for so long and I've done so many miles in it. And now the new red Duo and just the Twingo and the Yaris, the other front wheel drive cars. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's completed the collection. I don't need any more, plenty more to come with this car. But for now, thanks for watching.